Imagine for a moment an animal with a mental capacity so great it exhibits behaviors very similar to our own. An animal capable of compassion, grief, self awareness, altruism, playfulness, even long term memory. What a remarkable creature. Now imagine this same animal being hunted down by a poacher with an AK-47 as its family flees in horror as its tusks are mutilated from its skull. This is a reality that elephants face every day. The existence of elephants is rapidly declining. A century ago, the population of elephants was more than 10 million. In 2016, their numbers are estimated to be around 450,000. At this incalculable rate, the extinction of elephants is irrefutable as long as the demand for ivory exists. The complicated social structure and intelligence of elephants has always captured my interest and kept me aware of their dire situation over the years as I've watched their numbers dwindle. I've spent countless hours researching, trying to understand why we're letting this happen to these animals. And now it's time for me to share what I've learned with you. After I inform you today, you will be aware of the demands and uses of ivory, relevant laws surrounding the importation of ivory, the dwindling elephant populations that are most affected, and what we're doing to stop it. So who buys ivory? The Greeks and Romans in the classical period used ivory for religious art in intricate boxes, and they used a lot of it, which is probably why the Syrian and North African elephants became extinct in the 6th century. It just proves that poaching was even an issue back then. We should have quit while we were ahead. Today's ivory is mostly used to mass produce jewelry and souvenirs like keychains. Also, some uses are piano keys, cutlery handles, furniture inlays, many common household things. 1 pound of ivory tusk can sell for $1,000 in today's black market, and 1 tusk can earn 10 times the average annual salary in African countries, which may seem, you can see the appeal to less fortunate families. So many people in Asian countries actually believe that ivory can bring good luck and fortune, which sounds kind of insane to me. That the ruthless killing of an animal could bring luck. It's just kind of ironic. So where is this stuff going? China and the U.S. are the world's top importers, which I thought was a bit shocking. The U.S. just passed a law for a near total ban on the importation of ivory, so no commercial use of ivory whatsoever is allowed. However, non-commercial uses of ivory are still allowed, so mostly importing antiques or hunting trophies, you just have to prove documentation that the animal was killed before they were on the endangered species list, which there are fake documents that are used to get by that all the time. China laws are very similar to ours. The elephants most impacted are African elephants by far. 100,000 elephants have been killed in the past 3 years by poachers. Central Africa is the most affected. Its population has declined by 64% in the past decade. One of the largest mass elephant slaughters actually took place in Cameroon in 2012 when poachers were armed with grenades and an AK-47 and killed more than 300 elephants. Elephants have a very complicated family structure that's threatened when this happens. Poachers focus mainly on males and older females due to the tusk size, which causes highly skewed sex ratios. The loss of older females devastates the social and ecological knowledge of the remaining family members, which also reduces individual survival rates. Heavy poaching areas, you can see traumatized orphan elephants bunched together in leaderless groups. There is hope, though. Actions are being taken on a global scale to reduce the demand for ivory. CITES, which is the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wildlife and Fauna, they just unified China and the United States in their efforts to restrict each nation's domestic ivory trade and imports. Nonprofits also lead the way in elephant conservancy efforts. The American Wildlife Foundation is establishing land exclusively for the use of elephants and other endangered wildlife species in Africa so they may roam freely and safely. In China, large amounts of confiscated tusks are crushed in a publicized forum to display defiance for the use of ivory and discourage its use. So the conclusion here, elephants are battling incalculable odds. Some factors contributing to the situation are the wide use and acceptance of ivory that's still alive today in today's society and all over the world. Loopholes still exist for the importation and trade of ivory. A total ban of ivory is needed. There is no use for it. Elephants are poorly protected in Central Africa. Around 8% of the elephant population is killed each year. You can help make a difference in the matter, though. Where there is demand, there will always be supply. The demand is the fundamental force driving these animals to extinction. So please remember in the future, if you're ever tempted to purchase an item made of ivory, that an incredibly intelligent 13,000-pound animal was decapitated, and its teeth were removed from its skull, and its lifeless corpse was left to rot in the African sun to make it. Just think about that. Thank you.